Hey everyone, in this video I will discuss about the process that I follow to hire the writers from internship platforms. This is by far the most cost effective channel for me. So I have been telling you that for some of my earlier content I used to get the content written for about $3 per 1,000 words. So most of you got excited and you asked me about the sources from where I can get the content writers for $3 for 3,000 words. So this is the primary the channel, mainly the college interns, college students who are looking for the internships. Those are the people who deliver the content for lower cost. But then there is a significant amount that goes into the process to select them, as well as some effort that is required for handholding. So I will take you through all those details, especially basically the process that I follow. So let's get started. So keep watching the video. At the end I will also show you the numbers, how is the hit ratio. It is not as rosy as I told. Yes, you can get some good writers, maybe some writers with for low cost, but at the same time you will have to spend lot of time to really identify them. So I will also show you some numbers at the end of the video with respect to hit ratio. So let me take you to the steps that I follow. Number one, register as an employer. So that's first thing, because for most of these internship platforms you can only give the ad if you are an employer. Fortunately, I am associated with one of the startups, so I leverage the facilities I have there. So because of that reason, I have that facility to register as an employer. So you can pick up any of the internship platforms depending on which country you live in. So this is one of the platforms that I use. So but it all depends on which country you live in. Then accordingly you can pick your platform, but more or less it will be same. But maybe some of the platforms may not need the registration as an employer, that you need to check it out. That's the first step. Then publish the ad for content writer internship, content writing internship. This is very important, and compile all the details here, because the student don't you need to balance it out. Don't make things too complicated. At the same time, don't again write one liner saying that I am looking for a content writer. Give some 4-5 bullet points so that those are easy to explain. Typically what I do is I tell them roughly how much of content that I expect. Then I also tell them what kind of a content that I expect, is a blog content or academic content, whatever it is. And then I also tell them what are the skills that I am looking for. 3-4 bullet points. Again, don't create some kind of a job description with 20-25 points. People will get scared with that. So that is another important thing. The third step is, then you will start getting the profiles, screen profiles basically, or screen the applications. Rather than profiles, it's applications. So the moment you give the ad, you will the students will start applying for these internships, because most of these internships will basically interns will get a certificate at the end of the internship. That's the advantage that the students will look for. So once you get the responses from various students, you screen the profiles. Typically the process I follow to screen the profiles is, applications is, I look for any of the sample content that they wrote. So while publishing the ad, I also mention to attach at least some of the samples related to content writing. So if anyone doesn't include any of the sample, then I reject them. So initially there used to be a lot of discussions about that point. These are all students, how can you expect, and all that. Probably few years back, maybe there was no opportunity to really write and demonstrate or showcase, but now there are so many platforms available online. You need not to work really for any company to demonstrate your or use your content writing skills. The platforms like Medium, Reddit, there are so many open platforms are there. Anybody can go and create a blog on WordPress or Blogspot for free of cost, right? So many facilities are there. So if anybody got that kind of an attitude and interest towards content writing, they can very well create some at least few pieces of content. So if that much of intent is also not there, then I normally don't consider those applications. So I at least look for profiles having some samples, and also evaluate the samples. So what I look for in the samples is simple. I look for good English, decent articulation, that's all. So I don't go into the much of details. If readability is good, there are no grammatical errors, and if it is not like a if it is not looking like a too basic kind English, then I shortlist those profiles. So second next step is basically, so screen the application and shortlist the profile, then contact shortlisted profiles, applicants. So this is the next step number 4, contact them. So what I do is, most of the internal internship platforms will have a messaging system or email system. Just send a message to them asking, basically explaining them the next process. So simple thing what I tell them here is, we shortlisted your application. Before we actually confirm your internship, we want you to take up a test assignment. Okay, that's the process that we follow. So some of the candidates respond, some of them don't respond. So whoever responds, those are the final shortlisted candidates. Further shortlist to give sample test. So this is what it is. So once you screen the profiles, you contact them. So whoever respond to you positively, those are the people who get shortlisted further. So these are the people who are going to get a sample test. So then send out the details related to sample test details. So normally what I do is, I'll basically create an article structure, some kind of a briefing, more or less similar to this. You would have in last video, in the second video of this series, I showed the brief that I follow to give it to submit to any of these freelancers in the platform. So similar to this, but I pick some less complex article, and also the article that may not require so much of content. So that kind of a article I pick, and then I send it to these shortlisted interns to write a sample test assignment. And I also give them some kind of a heads up about what is the word count that I am expecting and all that. So for some of the interns, if they ask, I also provide them a reference also. I send a PDF format of any of the similar article that is written by any other writer for me. So that's the next step. So once this is done, then I normally receive the content from them. So then provide feedback and ask for revision. So 99.9% these articles would need revisions, because no intern, in fact even freelancers themselves, will not be able to give you the perfect article in first attempt, because when you start the journey, my expectations and freelancers understanding will always be different. So after you write some articles, there will always be some kind of a chemistry between writer and the person, but to start with there will always be some gaps. So I provide the feedback and ask them to revise. So whoever actually respond with further revision, then I look at that article. If it is really good, then basically I go for select the final candidates, select final list of candidates. So at least if I see that there is a reasonable quality here, then I select them finally. It's not a final selection, at least I shortlist them further basically, or else I will mark it as a shortlist of final list of candidates. So once this is done, then I will basically do a final discussion with respect to expectations and terms. So whoever agrees with this, then those candidates will be the final selected interns. This is the process that we follow, 10-step process. So let me actually stress more on some of the points. For example, screening application, I told you that what I look for. Then what happens is the moment we send the sample test, the kind of queries these people ask, that will actually give me some indication sometimes that some of the candidates are not really qualified or eligible to take up. So some of them get rejected at that phase. Then when providing, once I provide the feedback also, some of the people will not come back, will not be able to match to that. That is something, another criteria where I can actually discard some of the candidates. Also, the moment you get the sample test itself, result itself, you will be able to make out lot of people, if they are really got that ability to do the enough research and create the content. Lot of students here will actually just pick up an aggregated content from 4-5 blogs and then do a copy paste and send it to you. So you need to do a thorough review here once you get the sample test assignment, and then once you shortlist them, then you need to tell them about the terms and expectations. Is very, very important, because all of them are students. So you need to be explicitly, you need to mention your expectations. So what is the kind of work that you are expecting, how much of quantity on an average that you are expecting, and what kind of a quality you are expecting. In case if they do not meet your expectations, what are all the consequences? In case if they over deliver, what is the basically bonus to them? So all these things, basically I tell them that I would expect this much of minimum word count per month, meeting my quality standards. If you fail to deliver even the minimum, then probably we'll have to discontinue the internship. If you deliver more, there will be an additional bonus to you apart from the designated stipend. So all these things we will make it very clear. So then whoever agrees, basically they will get selected finally. This is the process that we follow. Not easy. You need to spend lot of time. Now, so let me give you some numbers. How much of effort goes to select these interns? Yes, I told you that once we select these interns, we may get content for about $3 for 1,000 words, but at the same time there is huge, please see here, there is significant effort goes from my side also, whoever basically the initiator. So that also need to be considered. If I take the numbers, then you will understand basically effort that goes there. Once I published the ad, typically I get about, let's say about 300 applications, for example. Then in the screening itself, 200 will go off. Either they don't provide full details, they can't even write 2 lines about themselves, or their articles, that samples that they provided are not even eligible to be reviewed, all these things. So basically after screening I get about only, normally I shortlist only 100. So but to shortlist this 100, I need to go through the details of all these 300 applications. Imagine the time and effort that goes there. Then once these 100 are there, I contact all these 100 interns. Then further shortlist basically. So once we contact, best case only 50 will respond. The 50 will not even respond to your message, though they themselves applied. Still that's basically the trend statistics. There is I don't understand the logic, but that's how it is. They apply, but they don't respond when we actually, some of them, I don't say all, some of them don't respond. Then out of these 50, then once you send the if you basically tell them that I am going to send the sample test, at least 10 of them will not respond. For 40 roughly you will send the sample test. Okay. And then out of these 40, so for example, once you shortlist 100, you just send some message, there won't be any response from 50. Out of this 50, you are going to tell them that I am going to send the sample test, at least 10 of them don't respond, then 40 are left out. You are going to send, I send sample test for all these 40, only 10 of them will revert with the content, written content. So these are all average numbers. Sometimes there is some deviation, but on an average I am telling you, because I am doing this from last at least a couple of years. Initially I used to do a lot, of late I actually reduced it. So only 10 people will send you the content. Out of them, at least 5 upfront you can reject, only 5 are left out. Now out of these 5, once basically you further review or revise, you further discuss, you actually pick up only 2. There will be only 2, and then once you, while you discuss your terms and conditions, you will be able to shortlist only 1 out of these 2 also, because other person will have some kind of a reasons or disagreement and all that. So this is the effort that you need to put in. So to select one candidate, you will have to start screening 300 applications. Remember that. So then only you will be able to get one candidate. Then you will be able to enjoy the advantage of getting the content for low cost. So it's not easy. You need to spend significant effort. And one more thing, even after you spend all these efforts, please don't imagine that this one person will be superstar. No, this one person is still a student. At least for about first 1 month, or still that person, the student, he or she completes at least 4 to 5 articles. You need to closely handhold. You need to provide them very positive feedback. Sometimes you will have to do some maybe 20-25% of edit. Once, if you are ready to, if you do all these things, then probably after 5-6 articles, the intern will start delivering the content as you expect. So don't expect that because the intern that whom you select is going to be as good as freelancers. So there is a lot of effort that you need to spend, lot of time goes there. That then you will be able to save some money. So if in the beginning, yes, I think if you are willing, you should spend this time. Of late, I am not leveraging this channel much. I stopped recruiting most interns of late, or maybe minimal, because nowadays, you know, right, I am working on multiple projects, so my time is very precious for me. I am not able to spend so much of time for all these activities, so I am actually paying little more money and going for the freelancers. But in the beginning, I was only working on only 1 or 2 blocks. So at that point of time, yes, I had a good amount of time, and I was also very budget conscious at that time, because it's a beginning. In the beginning stages, everybody will be very conscious about the budget. So if you are in the early stages, and if you are looking for a low cost writer, and if you are willing to spend that additional time and effort to go through all this process, then this is one of the channel that you can actually explore. So that's all for today. So if you have not watched my earlier 2 videos in this series about how I recruit my content writers and all that, go and check it out. There is one more video is going to come after this, that is about how I shortlist or recruit the freelancers from Facebook groups. I will create that video also shortly. Thank you once again for your time. Bye.